infrastructure didn't support walking or biking. So if you wanted to share, likely you were going to be hitchhiking or carpooling. So DC is especially important to me, having spent 17 years there. And when you look at the freewayization of the city on the south side, it ended there because the white preservationists and the black civil rights activists got together and fought back the freewayization of the city. They were going to, for those of you that know DC, they were going to continue the freeways all the way up to DuPont Circle, destroy U Street, DuPont Circle, and freeway the entire thing, which is just insane when you think about it now. But that was sort of status quo back then. So maybe now we realize that we've made some mistakes, all but 3 people. Houston, we have a problem, and transportation is a big piece of that problem. So in Chicago, we're embracing some tough decisions to change the outcome, and I think many cities are. But it's not enough to talk about it, then you actually have to implement and do it. So number one, we need to grow our cities dramatically, which means more density. It may mean growing our food vertically. We're going to have to cut our energy costs or use alternative sources of energy and then cut emissions dramatically. So this means, again, making tough decisions about what kind of world we want to live in. We started building a project like this in the suburbs of DC in about 1998. It's still being built. Cost overruns are massive, and nobody wants to live there. Nobody wants to live within miles of these things. And so we really need to embrace, I think, a new definition of quality of life. What is quality of life? And not building, more capacity for the sake of building more capacity to continue or even increase the behavior that got us into this mess in the first place. So we talk about transportation a lot, and transportation is absolutely key, but as you can see from these slides, land use is really, if not a key, the key to solving the problem that we've created. And we really have created an infrastructure monster. And as people move back to the cities, it's fascinating to watch these big boxes and these strip malls go bankrupt and become sort of carcasses of their former selves, which is super challenging to sort of undo this. But the good news is we live in cities, for those of you that are here, and we can play to our strengths. There's so many things we can do. I mean, like I was in downtown with you last night, Gail, and I had not been to downtown LA. I'd been to Hollywood and other places, Santa Monica. There's a lot going on downtown. But as we were talking last night, Matt and Gail and me, and we were talking about, would you want to let your kid just walk out of your condo and run around by themselves? No, you would never do that. That would be sort of crazy, right? But if you want to have families live downtown, they actually, like, the kids need to be able to go out there in the street by themselves. And if you go to the Netherlands, kids ride their bikes across the city 3, 4, 5 miles at the age of 7 or 8 by themselves to school, and they're completely safe. And so that's our challenge, is how do we get there? Because what we've done up to now is build it, and they come. And you could add 2 more lanes to this, and you still wouldn't have enough room. So what happened up until the 1980s is that people actually started buying more cars than houses. I think we have 300 million cars, I think, in this country. And so some of the other impacts are that we have the 2nd highest obesity rate in the world after Mexico, with over 2/3 of Americans over 20 overweight. And again, when I was in the Netherlands, now granted everybody there is 6'8", blonde, so there's another component there. But I'm 5'7", and but they don't have overweight people. They don't have it. Everybody rides their bike. And they even have bike lanes from their suburbs into the city, like dedicated bike facilities, sometimes not even on the road. Actually, how many people here go to the gym? Raise your hand. Okay. How many people drive to the gym? All right. How many people, don't be ashamed, how many people drive to the gym and take an escalator down to the gym or up to the gym? Okay, that's good. But that's our problem, right? Is that people think it's fine to drive to the gym, take the escalator down to the gym, run on the treadmill, get back upstairs, drive back home. But the idea of riding their bike to work and back seems foreign. Biking, by the way, is the 2nd biggest recreational activity in the United States. So, and I'm not sure if Art is here yet. He is, okay. So basically, what kind of city do we want to live in? And that's starting the conversation, because cities are repopulating, they're getting reinvigorated. So we have this incredible opportunity right now to figure out how to replan our cities, which in some cases means retrofitting our cities in an inexpensive way to reclaim that space for something else than the car. All right, so I'm halfway done.
Okay, let me just quickly for Art's benefit. Hi Art, we know it took you quite a while to bike over here. For Art's benefit, we asked Gabe to start with the first part of his presentation, just a little history of the city, and then stop so that we could give you an opportunity to talk about the report that Metro has done on bike share. But if you don't mind one moment, I would like to acknowledge, is my phone in here? Just left. Well, see, you don't hang around long enough, you don't get acknowledged. Okay. But help me welcome Art. Thanks very much.